Welcome everybody to the all-new 2023 Honda Accord Touring Hybrid. Yes, this is the hybrid and it's the flagship. They no longer have the 2-liter turbo engine. This is now the flagship. Some people are not happy about it and some people don't even like the way it looks, but I personally think it's a much more evolved version of the older Accord and it's a great improvement. Let's see how this all-new Honda Accord is. Front end of the all-new Accord I think is a striking look. It's very clean, very sophisticated, yet it looks so good. We've been used to the way the old Accord looks because let's be honest, they've been selling by the hordes, and no doubt this car will sell by the hordes as well. So we should get used to this car's looks as soon as possible. Lots of people think it doesn't look like an Accord, but I think it looks really good. The subtle, the sleek headlights, the minimalist, the big grille which is gloss black in this touring trim, and the headlights have beautiful DRLs which turn into indicators as well. It looks really good, and especially in this touring spec, the contrast with the lower half of the bumper in black and a small lip in black, it looks really good, especially with this paint, this red paint we have. It's the best combo, and if I were to buy an Accord, it probably in this combo itself. Something I don't understand are the aluminum small touches on the bottom of the bumper. I mean, it looks a bit like an afterthought, and maybe if that was matte black, it would perhaps complete the whole, understated theme this car tries to put out. Again, can't fault the way this car looks from the front. It looks absolutely amazing. Side profile of the 2023 Accord is when you realize this car has actually become even longer than the previous car. The previous car was not small by any chance, and this is much more longer. You can see the wheelbase is much longer and overall proportions are much longer, which again bumps it up into perhaps a bigger segment, I would say, because there's so much more room inside and outside with the proportions. You have to be a bit careful when you're maneuvering in tight spaces. The proportions itself have a bit of a coupe look in the rear. In fact, I would say that the side profile actually resembles a lot to the Audi A7. It has that sportback feel without actually compromising any of the headroom, which is a commendable job by Honda. You've got some fabulous 18-inch rims, which are diamond cut rims, which look really, really good, and they are only on this touring variant. Other variants have smaller rim options, and since this is the touring, you can see that it has a bit of a blacked out side skirt as well, which again contrasts really, really well with this red paint that we have this car today with. You've got some cuts and creases on the side to add a bit of a design element, but it's actually very smart and handsome looking on the road. The Accord has always been a handsome looking car in all its generation, and this generation is not different. I love the way this car looks from the side. Coming to the rear is when you'll notice that there are different design elements compared to the previous car. You've got a big LED bar on the taillight and very small Honda emblem. I feel that the Honda emblem could be a bit bigger to maybe tell the other road user that it is a Honda. You've got minimalistic badging on the boot, so you've got the Touring, the Accord, and the Hybrid badge to let everyone know that this is the Hybrid. Again, you've got the blacked out elements on the bottom of the bumper because this is the Touring. But yeah, it looks really good, and the boot opening, like the boot itself, looks a bit very small, but it opens up really big, and it gives you a very, very spacious 490-liter boot. The Accord has always been big and spacious, and this car has taken it up to the next level. Inside the Honda Accord, and you can see it's a completely new interior. It's very much emphasized on the Civic, which is now the Honda family theme, which you can find on a lot of the new models, which I think is not a bad thing because it's very simplistic. You've got the similar 3-spoke steering with all the cruise control and the volume buttons, and you've got what look like paddles but actually are not paddles. These are used for the regenerative braking, which is pretty cool because this is not an EV, which is something you find this on EVs, but this is the hybrid, and this has regenerative braking, so you can control the different regenerative speeds, braking force by these paddles. You've got a mesh pattern which is slightly different to the Civic, which I like this more. It's a much thicker, bigger bezels. You can see through the vents a bit more, but it looks really good in this smoked aluminum finish. What's also really new for this Accord and all Hondas is this new screen. So this is a 10-inch screen, Android powered, so it's Google powered. It's a Google head unit, so you can just put in your Google credentials and you get all your access to your maps and audio and everything. Though it does have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, which is again a bonus, and I've been using that without glitches. Other Hondas that have this wireless CarPlay, I faced at least one glitch in the week I've lived with the car. So far I've not faced a single glitch, so it means Honda is really improving with feedback from customers and other reviewers. It's flawless, the touch is really good, and the resolution is spot on. You've got the center console with two big cup holders which can take big cups, coffee cups. The gear lever is there, and you've got the different drive modes and a button that you can put it only in EV mode if you have enough EV battery. You've got a nice storage in here which can take a lot of stuff, and it's got some charging ports as well. You've got some charging ports here as well, and a wireless charger. The charging ports are only type C, which shows that this is an updated car. It's a very modern car, and it's to impress the modern crowd. You've got a nice sunroof as well, which is manual blind but electrically operated, which is again very nice. And overall the feel, fit and finish is absolutely spot on. It feels very, very premium. The seats in themselves are very, very comfortable. You've got very nice, side lumbar adjustments, and the comfort is top notch. The feel, the premium, the stitching is also very, very premium. Feels right at home with the price bracket this car is at. There is some gloss black on the center console and on the steering, which might be a bit difficult to keep clean, but otherwise you've got a full coverage of very nice quality of leather and some aluminium bits towards the interior. I mean, it feels very premium, and the Accord has always been premium, and this just takes it up to the next level. Now I'm in the rear seat of the Accord. As you can see, there is so much space, so much leg room, and it's for my driving position. Under thigh support is spot on. Headroom is superb. Space for 3 passengers, you name it, everything this car can do. There is a bit of a transmission hump, so the third passenger might not be the most comfortable, but the width for the third passenger, the headrest is absolutely spot on. The seat backrest is so comfortable. I mean, the Accord never had space as a problem, and this Accord is no different. You've got heated seats in the back, which is a pleasant surprise. You've got air conditioning vents and 2 Type-C ports to charge your phone. Again, this car is modern, up to date with current times, with current tech, and it has only Type-C chargers. You've got 1 seat back pocket on that seat, which I don't understand why, but again, it's so nice. No panoramic sunroof though, so you've only got sunroof at the front, but light is not an issue, even though it's a dark interior, but the windows are pretty big, so they let in a lot of light in. It's fabulous actually. Honestly, the stitching, the finishing, the leather is so good and so fine in a car like this. I can't fault anything. You've got a center armrest with 2 more cup holders, and honestly, this is one car that maybe you don't mind being driven in as opposed to driving in. You might see a lot of this as Ubers, so lots of people might be actually sitting here. I can totally see why one would do that. It's so comfortable. Awesome job by Honda in packaging the rear seats and the space inside the Accord. And the wheel of the 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid. This has a 2-liter naturally aspirated petrol engine mated to a hybrid battery. Combined output is 200 horsepower. It's front wheel drive only, and it's mated to an eCVT gearbox. So let's see how this new Accord drives. So slot the gear lever into drive, and it's completely silent when you start off. It's in pure EV mode. My EV battery isn't that high right now, so it's gonna kick in into petrol anytime now. Oh, and it has, just as I was speaking. But the transition is so smooth that you really don't feel the change at all, and it keeps on transitioning between the battery and the petrol motor so efficiently that it's so smooth that Honda has pulled it off so well, especially with the damping inside the interior as well, that you don't feel anything. You turn in and you feel that the steering feels very nice. They have recalibrated the steering so it is a bit more weighty, and it has a bit more feedback as well, and the suspension has been retuned as well as we go on some bumpy roads. Even with these 18-inch rims, it's so comfortable and it's so nice. It soaks up the bumps, nothing gets filtered onto your back, which is again great suspension tuning by Honda. This is a really, really patchy road, but it's so comfortable. I'm not feeling anything. Obviously the bigger bumps do unsettle the car a little bit, but otherwise it's so comfortable. The seats are so good. The suspension work in tandem to soak up everything and not transfer anything to the driver. Overall, when you're cruising at regular speeds, it just keeps on shifting between, right now I'm in EV mode. There's a EV light that pops up on the dash, and it's so seamless. I am in EV mode right now, and they have made changes to the hybrid system, so it charges the hybrid system a bit more aggressive. aggressively now. So many times you'll be surprised with the amount of battery you have left into a hybrid battery, which you can transition into an only EV mode. There's a button on the center console, which is very, very unique for regular hybrids, because let's be honest, this is not a plug-in hybrid. It's so smooth, so refined that, what can I say? There are some drive modes this car has. This is in eco mode, normal mode, so let's just play around with it. So there's, yeah, so it's an individual, sport, normal and econ. I've been driving the econ mode because it's been sufficient, but if I put it to normal, you can definitely feel that the car gets a bit more sprightly. And if I put it to sport mode, you can hear the engine comes along and the battery gives it some power, and it pulls speed pretty well. Like, I'm going pretty fast in no time. In sport mode, you won't feel lacking of power, and all 200 horsepower is in action, which is honestly awesome job by Honda by making it in such a great package. You can hear a bit of the CVT whine, but it's so contained well that Honda has done such a great job of, you know, tuning. But there's pumped in audio, you can hear it. It was not available in any other driving mode. The pumped in audio is a bit there. It's front wheel drive, so it will understeer a bit when you corner, but the steering feel is so nice that you know, you can really push this car hard in corners. You can hear a bit of the engine and this fake shifting of the CVT, but it drives so well. Honestly, it doesn't feel like a barge and it doesn't feel so big. Braking is spot on, and you charge a lot of batteries with the regenerative braking. It's a perfect combination, and the fuel economy is superb. I've been averaging 5.5 liters per 100 in stop-start traffic. What else do you need from a car of this size? Top-notch work by Honda. In conclusion then, the 2023 Honda Accord. Well, the Accord has always been a bread and butter model for Honda, and it's always been a very, very competitive car. This car is no different. In fact, it's taken all its core strengths of the previous one and just upped it up by a notch, taking it to the next level. It looks really good, it drives really good, it's so spacious, it's very, very comfortable, the ride. In this hybrid motor, it has enough pep to keep up with other cars on the road, and it's extremely fuel efficient. What else do you need? The only chink in the armor, I think, is the price, because with every generation Honda has been bumping up the price, and this is not cheap. It's almost $45,000 or $46,000 Canadian, which is pretty steep for an Accord, but they've made it that much good. It's up to you if it's worth spending that much for a car in this segment, or you want to get something else. If I were in the market, I might just pick up this because it's so complete as a car. What would you buy? Let us know in the comments below of this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.